As much as I love VR gaming, those tethered headsets are an absolute pain in the arsehole region. If you're not tripping over the bloody cables, they're usually whipping you in the face or slowly entangling themselves around your throat. One of these days I'll almost certainly be found choked to death and branded the unfortunate victim of some sort of asphyxiation perversion gone wrong. And that's why I love this new Oculus Quest VR headset, which allows you the full freedom of playing a range of virtual reality games with not a cable in sight, and all while making you look incredibly sexy. And while the number of games right now for the Oculus Quest is rather limited, there's definitely something for everyone out there, from enchanted puzzle games and high-octane action titles to your pants scary horror experiences. So here's my pick of the top 10 best Oculus Quest games you can grab right now, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, don't forget to plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up on our list is Moss, which sees you buddying up with a cute little animated mouse thing called Quill. She's apparently bored of sneaking into people's flats and nicking their cheese toasties, and so off you trot on a grand magical adventure. Moss is absolutely stuffed full of charm and whist and wonder, and it makes really good use of that VR platform to really draw you into its world, with similar mechanics to the excellent Astrobot on PSVR. Things tick along at a gentle pace, but in between the solving of puzzles and enjoying the lush visuals, you will find yourself occasionally battling baddies, and I never found myself grown bored of the experience. As far as multiplayer co-op VR games go, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is one of my all-time favourites, and the great news is you can already grab it for Oculus Quest. The concept is brilliantly simple. One player dons the Oculus Quest headset and is presented with a complex bomb which they have to explore and disable before the timer runs out. The other player or players are armed with a virtual bomb disposal manual which they can access on their smartphones. The key to success here is careful communication. The VR player has to describe exactly what they're seeing and doing while the others guide them with clear instructions. One mistake and it is kablooey time. Things get incredibly tense with the more difficult devices, and there's no greater feeling than pulling off that old action movie cliche and defusing a bomb with just 1 second left on the clock. Bosch! Now if that really got the old adrenaline pumping, then definitely check out I Expect You to Die. This tongue-in-cheek adventure slaps you in the sexy tux of a secret agent and thrusts you into various perilous, far-fetched situations. You'll need all of your wits to solve the many puzzles and escape each scenario unharmed, so definitely don't go down in too many martinis beforehand. With its chucklesome humour and clever mind twisters, I Expect You to Die is an absolute delight, and I love how you can interact with pretty much everything you see on screen. An extra level has just been added, with more planned for later in 2019, and if you can buy just one Oculus Quest game, then I definitely say throw your cash at this one. Now quite a few VR games do have you standing or sitting as still as humanly possible, so you don't end up accidentally punching out Nana or punting the cat through the conservatory roof. But if you've got space to spare and fancy a really active experience instead, then definitely check out Beat Saber, one of the best rhythm games of all time. Those Oculus Quest controllers turn into dual lightsabers, and the aim here is really simple. Just basically smack the living daylights out of all of the coloured boxes that come flying at your face, all in time to the funky beat. You can free play just to work up a bit of a sweat and enjoy the hyperactive soundtrack, or take on a variety of increasingly tough challenges to make it more of a game. I already fell head over heels in love with Beat Saber on the PSVR, but the Oculus Quest is definitely the best way to play thanks to that cable-free setup. No risk of choking yourself or tripping over as you flail about the place like a dying walrus. An alternative option to Beat Saber is Dance Central. The soundtrack here features a greater variety of genres, with classics from Salt and Pepper and Earth, Wind & Fire rubbing shoulders with the likes of Kendrick Lamar and Lady Gaga. You've even got a tasty bit of Hadaway on there, legends. And if you're in the mood for a spot of lovely violence instead, then definitely check out Robo Recall Unplugged. This fast-paced first-person shooter has you retiring a bunch of rogue robots by basically tossing them about and blasting them to bits, all while dodging and deflecting their attacks. The graphics have been noticeably scaled back compared with the Rift version, but you still get loads of enemies coming at you, while the cable-free nature of the Oculus Quest once again makes for a more satisfying gaming experience. Robo Recall Unplugged is a bit on the short side though, so it's best picked up on sale, although that said, the replayability factor is pretty high. Another first-person shooter that works really well in VR is Superhot. This stylish action game has a unique and very cool gimmick. The entire world and all of your enemies will only move when you do, so at any point you can basically freeze in place and think through your next move before acting. There are few things more satisfying than taking down an opponent with a well-aimed bottle to the face before snatching up their pistol as it tumbles to the ground and blasting their buddy right in the nads. Fun times. Unfortunately, there are scant few horror games available on the Oculus Quest right now, but the Exorcist Legion VR is well worth the punt for any fans. The 5 chapters are over rather quickly, but they do offer plenty of chills. You really will need barrels of steel to get through them all in one sitting without ripping off the headset and going for a cup of herbal tea and a bit of a sit down. Unfortunately, this version of the game does seem quite glitchy at times, but hopefully these bugs will be ironed out very soon indeed. Another game that gets the old ticker racing is Thumper, which is once again a port from a PC and PSVR title. This may look like some kind of weird action racing game hybrid, but Thumper is actually a rhythm title which has you dodging obstacles in time to the pounding beat. Those psychedelic visuals definitely match the heavy soundtrack perfectly, and it's a proper sensory overload at first until you really get into the groove. And if you're after a proper challenge, Thumper is very punishing but rewarding, and it's well worth grabbing. And after all that chaos, you'll probably want to unwind with something a bit more relaxing, and that's why our final hit on the top 10 best Oculus Quest games right now is Shadow Point. This beautifully presented puzzle game has you manipulating VR objects and playing with light to solve a huge number of clever brain ticklers. The difficulty curve is pitched just right. There's enough content here to keep you going for hours, and the stylish visuals meant that I enjoyed just wandering around the environments, even if the interactivity is sadly very limited. You even get a bit of voiceover action from the legend Sir Patrick Stewart, so seriously, what is not to love? And that right there is my roundup of the top 10 best Oculus Quest games you can get right now in summer 2019. Of course, it's not a massive catalogue right now because the Oculus Quest has only been on sale for about a month or so. Hopefully by Christmas time it'll be a lot more padded out. Hopefully we'll have some really good strong titles on there, and I'll probably get this list updated. But did I miss out your own personal favourites? Well, definitely let us know in the comments down below. And for the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers everyone, love you!